as a frame in the Twitch app. Are we still top 10 in Mythic? We are not. We played more Magic and our cumulative variance balanced out. Is Discord down? My Discord is not. I'm still connected, right? All right. Well, I'm closing Discord and won't be posting updates in there today because it doesn't appear to be loading. Anywho, Bant Bow. Notably, you'll see here I've got this titled as Sloth Bow because I've got a couple of Arboreal Grazers down here at the bottom end. Notably, I've got 10 pieces of ramp in this configuration. We've got 4 Elves, 3 Grazer, 3 Paradise Druid. Another thing I'm trying today for the first time on stream is Nullhide Ferox. I played a little bit with this card off stream and it felt really impressive. Just having a really big threat to get into play ASAP that you can then protect with Frilled Mystic or hide behind with activations of Arkbow is really fantastic. When your opponent has to pay an upcharge of 2 on their removal spells to kill this, it is really efficient with Frilled Mystic because, like, often then they're then spending 4 or 5 mana to try and kill your Nullhide, and then you spend 4 mana to counter their 4 or 5 mana spell. So Frilled Mystic's not only putting a body into play, but it's trading mana positive a lot of the time, which felt really powerful. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches and see how it goes. This is currently the leading deck for my pick to play next weekend at the Mythic Championship qualifier on Magic Arena. So we are currently ranked 215 as we are starting today. Yeah, I think we're not trying to hit Fibblethip with the bow, Tom. I don't want to put a bad card in my deck to, like, hope to hit a bad card with my bow. Oh, we're actually playing against Autumn Lily here. When's the qualifier? It's next Saturday. A week from this Saturday here. And then, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. So I could play the Ferox here, but I think I'd rather I could play the Paradise Druid here, but I think I'd rather just get the bow down because that way we can play Ferox next turn, and the Ferox makes the bow cost more mana moving forward. This does mean if they kill the Llanowar Elves, I'm unable to play this next turn, but I think it is still worth getting this down. So no blue mana currently, but worth noting Paradise Druid here does make blue mana even though we don't have blue lands. Yeah, I believe this is Autumn from the MPL, but I'm not 100% sure. If it is, they're probably streaming. I'm just gonna put a 6/6 monster into play here. And then I think I'm gonna actually hold on to this elf because I would rather discard this to this rather than cast it. I think Teferi's at this best in the stack. I know the synergy of Bouncing Mystic is good and it's fine versus Reclamation. No, I think that's a garbage suggestion, Ostin. I think Hydrate Crisis is terrible in this deck because it's at odds with wanting to discard lands to the Arkbow. It's also at odds by being a creature that you can't get with Arkbow. Not only does Teferi put our opponent into incredibly awkward sequencing positions, it's a good tempo play in terms of sending your opponent's card back to their hand, in addition to having the synergy with bouncing your own cards like you mentioned. I just don't want my Paradise Druid to die, because every extra mana I have with my bow makes me more likely to be able to hit something meaningful. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and bow for 6 here proactively, so I can try and hit a Tolsimir. I could also hit like a Constellation Deputy of Detention. I think this deck is much better against aggro pikes. I also think this deck is better against Control and Nexus. I think this deck is worse against other mid-range decks, but it's very good against Reclamation and aggro and Control. Have I mentioned 6/6s are great? I have like Lava Coil Shock here. Or Bacon Bolt maybe. They discarded Bacon Bolt here. I'm actually just going to wait on this. I'm just going to attack for 6 here. Hey, Fuzzy Jello, thanks for the tier 1 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Honestly, Pikes, at the end of the day, the amount of matches that you need to meaningfully draw conclusions is more than I've played. For my small amounts of experience playing both and looking at the matchups on paper, what I told you is what I feel, and if that doesn't translate, I don't really have a better, more descriptive way to say it. Sorry, Solera, Discord seems to be down right now, or at least it's down for me. At the end of the day, people always want to know, like, why is this the best deck? Why is it broken? And again, I just want to constantly iterate to people, in good Magic formats, it isn't about this deck being absurd and broken. In a good Magic format, there should just be a variety of things that are reasonable and competitive. And I think this is one of the many things that is reasonable and competitive in this current Magic format. That's a great descriptor. Jeff finds high upside in having player agency in his deck. This deck provides a lot of meaningful decisions. Firm agree. There are a ton of decision points in this deck on average. Yeah, the original iterations of this deck that we played contained Oketra, and I don't think she's good in this configuration of this deck. Not only does she very directly not work with Arkbow, but she also just, like, fills up these other slots that are top end that help us be good against aggro. I don't think this is a matchup where I want counterspells. I think I just want to, like, get on the board and play to the board. I don't know if this is a Baffling End matchup or not. Maybe the Baffling Ends, maybe a couple of Baffling Ends are better than Teferi. I could see that. Do this, maybe. Maybe all the Tolsimirs are unnecessary. Maybe all the Tolsimirs are unnecessary and I want this on the draw. Nah, they only have 4 Electromancers. I'm gonna submit. When you have a bunch of Shalais and you have Frilled Mystics, Lyra's a lot more likely to live. When you can play Lyra at instant speed at their end step, Lyra's a lot more likely to live. So this deck's doing a variety of things that make Lyra more likely to live than the average deck is going to allow. London mulligans falling down, falling down, falling down. London mulligans falling down now. Please, Watsy. Ferg TQ, you've been subscribed for 9 months, according to the icon next to your name. This is where the magic happens. If we miss on a green source again here, we'll concede. Sometimes you play Magic, other times Magic plays you. Why not go to 5 there? That's a good question. So, the question you want to ask yourself while mulliganing is, what do you think is more likely? Do you think you are more likely to draw the piece that you are missing with your current hand, or are you more likely to have a good hand on fewer cards? I felt that with the hand I was keeping there, I was more likely to hit a couple of running lands or a green source into a mana dork than I was to have a powerful hand with one fewer card in it. Magic is a series of probabilistic plays, and I felt the probabilistic play that gave myself the best chance to win there was, scale of 1 to dead. Where's this elf at? If we untap with this elf, it's gonna be... I get to start playing some big boys and girls out. Turn 3/6/6 on the play is like, kinda chef's kiss. If we hit the land to get to Tolsimir this Electromancer, we're gonna be in a really good spot. I have no idea, Turkey. Look at the little icon and you tell me. Lots of practice, Stormy Waters. If you feel like you're having a hard time keeping your emotions in check while playing Magic, you should just, like, take a step back and take a break. Alright, lands please, Jadelight. Yay, Magic! Woo! They're currently just spinning their tires, so that's nice, although that's a top. I mean, we don't really need Arkbow. If we hit lands 4 and 5, we're gonna be more than okay here. Just not another 4 or 5 drop, please. Just give me a land or a castable spell. Ding. One land for Tolsimir, please. One land for Tolsimir, please. And I think the way this is going to work out here, I'm actually just going to go ahead and attack with both of these, because if they want to go to 1 to eat my Shalai, I'm okay with that. Mr. One, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Now, maybe... I wonder if there's an argument to, like, waiting to play Tolsimir till post-combat to, like, attack, offer that, and then, like, Tolsimir gets to eat their Drake, or the wolf gets to trade with their Drake. Could see that maybe being the case. Because, like, if they have land Bacon Bolt here, they can, like, Bacon Bolt, Jumpstart Bacon Bolt to finish Tolsimir. And the wolf off to, like, not be dead on board. They can also floop through some birds to get blockers here. Although, the second Tolsimir doesn't really change anything, huh? No, so unfortunately the wolf and Tolsimir are all legendary, so the second Tolsimir isn't very useful while the first is still in play. If they have a removal spell here, they're not dead, because they have a Phoenix in the bin. We hit prison. If we hit Prison Realm or Deputy there, they were dead, but we did not. If I keep the old wolf, I can't kill the Phoenix, Chalky. Chat, this is legendary. This is legendary, chat. All of the decks that are in the stream title are decks that still have yet to be played today. Don't Bacon Bolt me. Alright. Pretty sure we just go for it. Have you come across a glitch where Crackling Drake's power doesn't move when Kaya Planeswalker +1 their graveyard? Well, Crackling Drake counts cards in Exile Waters, so that's not a bug. That's the rules text of Crackling Drake. Take care for Dive Down. Why is that worth mentioning, Tumos? Like, do you think it's worth playing around Dive Down there? In what manner is mentioning it meaningful? You could say, yeah, we can't beat this card, but is there a way that I could play that allows me to play around a Dive Down? Or is it just like mentioning a card I can't beat to say we can't beat it? Unfortunate lack of white mana here means we have to mulligan. Well, I mean, this definitely doesn't missing white mana. Let's keep and put a bow on top of our deck, shall we? Perfect. Perfect. Never didn't have it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all these creatures in our hand, chat. Look at all these creatures we've kept. This is the part where they, like, turn 2 Night of Autumn and just, like, make us a very sad panda. Yeah, but that's still bad for us, Dimir Spy, because we lose the Lyra to the dive down inside of combat. I think we're in a position where we just, like, couldn't beat dive down. It's not worth mentioning, aside from saying, hey, we can't beat it. It sucks that they have it. Been a steady YouTube follower, but really get to catch a stream. Yeah, for the stomach bug. Well, welcome to a live one, and I appreciate you dipping in to give the Prime support, John Sid. Twitch Prime pays my mortgage, so I appreciate that. Tolsimir first. lets you either not attack the Drake if they... No, it doesn't change anything at all, Lyra, because Tolsimir's Wolf doesn't kill the Drake in combat. The Wolf's only a 3/3. We played Legacy as the first deck to play today. We'll play Modern tomorrow and Friday. Putting damage on the Drake... It doesn't put damage on the Drake if they have a dive down, Lyra, because they dive down and gain hexproof. I feel like people don't understand the text on the cards they're telling me. Am I the only one that knows what these cards do? This is, yeah, but then they get to untap, and they get a turn where they get to put their Phoenixes back into play, and very likely, they're more likely to put Phoenixes back into play, meaning I no longer have lethal the following turn, than they are to have a dive down for pushing lethal that turn. Again, it's all about probabilistic plays. Everything goes up on YouTube or TV. In fact, you're a subscriber to the channel, so you could watch it on the previous... You could watch it on my YouTube right now. Or watch it on my Twitch VODs right now. Well, that's a bold attack. Survey says... Gosh, we are incredibly unlucky. That's unfortunate. We just, like, haven't drawn... Alright, I'm gonna count how unlucky we are. So there were... I need to know how unlucky I am, chat. There were 27 creatures in 51 cards, and we had 5 looks. So 51, 27, sample size is 5. Looking for 1. We were 98.2% to find a creature on that bow activation. Yes, that's also true. A lot of the Phoenix list can't afford to play Dive Down because it's not a proactive card to bring back Phoenix. We are the 1%. Yep. Just not the 1% you want to be. Frilled Mystic? Frilled Mystic? I think I'd want Lyra here. Do I kill their mana creatures and just not let them... Do I just kill their mana creatures and just not let them draw cards? Or do I kill the Ripjaw Raptor? I guess the Ripjaw Raptor is going to gain reach from this, so I probably want to kill it. No, you can over-assign combat damage to these. For people that are new to Magic, you can over-assign damage to these first two. Which is why, if you noticed, I went into here and checked that auto-assign combat damage wasn't enabled. Because if I don't want to deal damage to this, I would over-assign combat damage to these. So, I think I'm supposed to kill the Raptor here. Giving them a card feels a little bit bad, but it is what it is. We played Punishing Thieves, and it was kind of mediocre. There is a small bit of awkward tension you saw there between hoping to find Frilled Mystics and having Deputy of Detentions in our deck. Ravager Worm's pretty good. We're still at a pretty high life total here, though. Opponent doesn't have that much on board. We get a lot of looks with Arkbow every turn.
You fight like a city brat.
I wonder if I'm supposed to... You know, I'm probably supposed to bow in response there, because we could hit a Tolsimir and then, like, fight this and double block. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. We didn't find it. Oh, Nullhide would have eaten it as well. Yeah, that's a good call. We didn't see either of those cards, so it didn't really matter, but yeah. Gosh, Ferox is a big boy. He is such a big boy. And this is just, like, really kind of showing off the power of why we can afford to play 10 mana creatures in our deck, just because, like, Vivien's Arkbow just means, like, if we don't get punished for having them in the long game, because we just, like, turn them into actual threats.
Wait, you think nature is kind?
There's my swole boy. He's a biggin. I think I just have to pass here. I think I need to accrue a little bit more advantage here. Yep. Just like, this is such a good example of, like, the bow doesn't generate card advantage, but what it does is significantly increase our card quality to where basically every draw off of our deck is 6 redraws towards a meaningful high power level card. Looking for a Frilled Mystic here, obviously. A lot of good consolation prizes, though. Like that. It's a good consolation prize.
I've lost so much already. I won't lose more. Have you ever lost a home?
Yeah, you know, I'm trading this for a 4/4. That's probably bad. This is a bad attack. Wow. Okay. Just all right. Sure.
Let's do this again.
Zeke, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. The no blocks there makes that attack a-okay. Second beefcake. Go. Even if they, like, have another Ravager Worm here to kill my Lyra, which is one of their best possibles, like, my Nullhide Feroxes are just bigger than Ravager Worm. No, Pike, I would assign all the damage to Spellbreaker. Oh, they could have been concerned with instant speed deputy. Yeah, that's true, actually. I like that. That's a good conservative play if they're concerned with instant speed deputy. And, like, fighting Lyra there means that I gain a bunch more life, right? So I'm gonna hold off for now, because there's 2 copies of Shalai in my deck here still, which I could hit and then just, like, pump up the jam with. Two Frilled Mystics we haven't put on the bottom yet. It sucks to go past the Shalai there, but definitely want to counter this Vivien. We're really far ahead if they don't have a way to find extra cards. Like, our idiots are bigger than their idiots, and we're just, like, digging real deep every turn. Maybe I'm supposed to Frilled Mystic there? Maybe I'm supposed to dig for Frilled Mystic there? Yeah, I probably am. Ha-ha! JK, everything worked out. JK, just like we drew it up. Just like we drew it up. I'm just gonna take this hit here, because next turn we're gonna kill this, and this won't be able to attack into these anymore.
Any skirmish you can walk away from, right?
I think I want to just activate this rather than use my bow. I think we're just like turtle up and kill you in the air in like 3 turns. I think it's nonsense to call something like that foul play, Stormy Waters. Magic's at its core is a mental game as well. Lyra, Shalai, Tolsimir. Tolsimir's probably not good enough here, just because he's not quite big enough to brawl with a lot of the stuff that they're doing. Sloth doesn't really block meaningfully here, but the acceleration feels like it could be important. How good is Deputy? The removal feels pretty important. And I have like a bunch of Shalais to protect it post-board. What do we think of this? I think I like this. I don't think I like Prison Realm, because they usually have, like, ways to kill enchantments post-board. I think I want to keep the last Sloth, just because I want 8 mana accelerants. Like, getting Nullhide down on turn 3 is just, like, one of the best things we can do in this matchup. Nullhide really feels like it was the missing piece to the puzzle in this deck. Like, this deck felt really close, and since adding the 6/6, it's been like, yeah, this is great. This hand's a little slow. I'd like to draw an accelerant, but so I've got a bunch of good spells in it, so let's keep. Talking about turn, man, speak of the turn 3/6/6 and it will appear. Mercy, Poppy, mercy. Alright, I'm hoping Nullhide into Lyra is going to be enough to stabilize this here. How much you get Sultai Diviner into today? How far down is that one compared to some of the other decks we're playing? Not that far. For a crown, I'd let you cut it in and rearrange my schedule a little bit, Scholar, for 25. Because you have that big, beautiful Hooglandia crown on your head. We're kind of at a point where if they have anything, we're probably dead. So we're kind of just like hoping we can play our things and have them be good enough. Wonder if Frilled Mystic's a card I'm supposed to board out in this matchup. Although it's probably reasonable on the play. Yeah, if they have a way to kill our Nullhide here, we're going to be in a bad way. Sure.
It's a beautiful day for chaos, isn't it? I was raised by wolves, though they might have also just been big dogs.
Thanks for the support, Scholar. I appreciate it. What do I want to do here? I almost think I'm not supposed to, because they have Domri sitting in play, I almost think I'm supposed to shock in a land and pass here. And just, like, hope to bow into something good inside of combat. No, I'm definitely playing an untapped land here. Because ideally, I want an instant speed Lyra to eat this Ripjaw inside of combat, I think. And I definitely want, like, the most looks at whatever I'm doing, too. Frilled Mystic also can't counter things while Domri's out. Regisaur Alpha. Yep. I've got 2 more Lyras in my deck, but I also have like Deputy of Detention too. So like I have a few meaningful hits here. Which naturally means I hit the Lyra and just get to crush them. Never didn't have it. And now Lyra eats Domri. Teferi bounces this token. Magic's a tough game, chat. Magic's a tough game.
Oh, you haven't seen the last of me.
I am not going to sit this one out. Let's try this.
Huh? You know, I'm actually just gonna play this next Teferi and bounce this Druid of the Cowl too. Or do I bounce the Regisaur? Like, I know the Regisaur gives them another token, but do I really care about the other token if it's taking their whole turn? I'm gonna bounce the Druid. What if they play like another Regisaur here? Or like a Carnage Tyrant? I'm gonna bounce the Regisaur. It might feel a little bit weird, but I feel like I'm so incredibly favored right now if this game goes long. I just want to, like, put them behind so the game has a chance to go long.
Only time will tell.
So what do I want to do here? I mean, they killed our Lyra, but our health total jumped right back up, right? So, like, that's good for me. I think I just do this and then play a tap land. It's, like, kind of bad if they have another worm. But I guess if they have another worm... Oh, this is bad against Domri, too. I could bow into Nullhide to block in combat. That's probably the better line.
That's the sound of a stampede coming straight.
That's probably a better line. Yeah, I could Deputy in Shalai. Like, normally Deputying a Ravager Worm is, like, not a great idea. But, like, Shalai means they have to kill through 2 things. Alright, and now I have something that's less scary when it comes back into Plate Exile. So let's just do this and this. How much life did our Lyras gain us this game? Like, just an absurd amount, right? So we're getting attacked for 6-10 here, down to 6. A little bit more than 10. 14, it looks like. I think I just go to 2 here. Before anyone says anything, yes, that was the best draw in my deck. Before anybody feels the need to comment, I am painfully aware that that was the best draw in my deck. So you can all calm down. I am aware, better, lucky than good, etc., etc. Just enjoy it. We might still be dead here. Depending on what they have in hand, we might still be dead. But that was a good one. That was the out. If we didn't hit this, we were gonna bow for it. So we had 8 chances to find the Lyra there. Would like the record to reflect that we had 8 chances to find the Lyra. Another Regisaur. Is that lethal? We're at 11. Is that lethal? I think that's their best possible, because they get to attack with everything here. So I get to go block, block. So this is the easy block. This is the easy block. This is the easy block, and then I don't die, right? I take 9, I go to 11. Do I need to block with this? I do, right? Because this is 7, 10, 13. So I have to block here. Solidly not dead yet. Alright, so when they attack with everything next turn, I'm effectively at 11. And I get to go block, block. Ideally, I'd go block, block, and then I'm taking a lot more than 11. Alright, so I think I'm supposed to just pass and Vivien's Arkbow to hope to hit Deputy, because if I hit Deputy, I exile these, and then I go block, block, Deputy chumps here, and then I'm still taking 7, 10, 11. I think I'm just dead. I don't have Tolsimirs in my deck right now. I think the mobilized districts put me dead here. It was a heck of a fight, though. Yeah, maybe that's the line. Maybe it's Deputy, bounce something, and then... Or Teferi bounce something, then hope to hit Deputy at a smaller bow activation. I could see that. Alright, it wasn't coming either way. That was a close game, considering how good they're... Remember, that was the game where they... That was a game where they had turn 3 Nullhide on the play, and I didn't play anything till turn 4. Like, I didn't play anything that impacted the board till turn 4. How do we feel about Frilled Mystic in this matchup? I'm kind of not into it. I think I'm going to put in the Tolsimir and a Prison Realm. Let's do that. No, we're not playing any copies of Resplendent Angel. White early is kind of tough. And we just have lots of other 3-drops that just are a little bit better, I think. Sand's fine. It's going to be a little bit slow if they have a Llanowar Elf start, but if they don't have a Llanowar Elf start, like, hopefully they have a 2-mana accelerant, and we'll go Bow on 2, they'll play their 2-mana accelerant, we'll go Teferi bounce your 2-mana thing. It's the ideal start for this hand. Huh. Alright. Well, I think I'm just gonna... I think I just Teferi plus here.
I'm known for my excellent timing. I've got it.
This deck has a lot of really good tension-based decision points, I would describe them as.
Let's see if you're worthy.
A lot of really good, like, these are really close decisions back and forth. Yeah, plussing feels bad if they play something with haste, but keeping my thing high here is nice in the event, like, they only play one blocker here, and then I can bounce their thing and then kill their Vivien. The tempo this can buy me later by having counters on it is big. Because, like, even if they Nullhide here, I can, like, pay 2 and bounce their Nullhide, right? Which, because they didn't have any acceleration, this card being able to send a threat back to their hand is a big deal. Ferox says what? What'd you say about Ferox? It is, that card has a lot of text on it. You're not wrong. A lot of text over there. And this game is really showing kind of the power of Teferi in terms of just being a tempo card. Just like, we're gonna likely kill our opponent while they have cards in their hand this game. Just because this card's setting them back. Yeah, sure. Sure. Hold on, folks. I'm gonna do it again.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
And my hand's got enough bad cards in here that normally I don't really like bowing for 4, but I think bowing to try and find a Nullhide here is fine. Just because, like, it's not like I'm losing a quality card to make that exchange. Now, this is a part where not having Frilled Mystic in my deck feels bad. Nah, I don't think so. So, I'm gonna bow in response to the fight trigger here, because if I hit Deputy of Detention, it doesn't get to fight. And that's the unfortunate part, right? We have a lot of good 5s in our deck, and we just kind of whipped past them there. Which is an unfortunate downside, but it is a downside that you have to live with. I think we're still pretty far ahead here. I'm notably going to hold this second bow in my hand for a little bit, because post-board I'd expect them to be able to interact with artifacts and enchantments, so there's a chance that this doesn't remain here forever. It's also worth noting there that we saw a Tolsimir in that list of stuff, and, like, that Tolsimir was a Frilled Mystic last game. So, like, the way I sideboarded did impact the outcome there. Looking for a Nullhide. Didn't find one, but found a Tolsimir. Do I want to trade these for this? I don't think I do at this point, right? I think, like, I just gain 3 and, like, say sure. Because, like, I've got a lot of damage on the backswing here. This is kind of punishing. Oh, it is only trading 1. Oh, yeah, I'm super dumb. Oh, I'm super dumb. Yeah, I wasn't counting. I was thinking about when they had Domri last game, and this is pretty punishing. Well, if we lose this game, it's because I messed up.
We are the many.
Definitely foobarred that. Nullhide's not a bad rip. Do I want to Nullhide this turn? Well, what if I turn this off and then deputy this and then attack Domri? I think that's the line. Yeah. I still feel like I'm in kind of a bad spot because I didn't realize I could eat the Ravager worm.
I'll just see myself out then.
They have another worm here. I'm probably dead because of my misplay. That's actually not too big of a deal because my wolf treats cleanly with this friendo. Oh, we're dead. Okay, yep. So that was a good example of how a mistake very directly led to us losing the game. So if I'd have double blocked their Ravager worm there, they wouldn't have been able to get the Gulta into play. Yeah. And like that's super on me, right? You could also argue that maybe cutting the Frilled Mystics was wrong and that was too knee-jerk. Frilled Mystic's definitely better on the play. So like, if I'd have kept Frilled Mystic in my deck, I would have been able to counter that worm to start, which meant I would have kept my Shalai around, which would have been much better, like, would have basically been in a can't-lose position. Tron player! Thank you for the 11-month resub, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here.
Responsibility. I've got time. I can no longer stand by and watch. I'll protect you.
Honestly, I just use the arena deck editor when I'm building decks.
Don't worry, I got this.
The deck editor in Arena or MTGO helps me visualize the deck and curve better.
Oh,
I'm actually kind of surprised there aren't any deck editors online that mimic the being able to put your cards in pile view. Is really a really important piece to like having your decks be well built is having a reasonable curve. No, MTG Goldfish has a visual view that makes zero sense in way, shape, or forms. It puts your cards into a picture, but it does not organize them in any way that makes sense. Alright, so the Sorin implies they're playing Esper Hero, right? Is what I believe that means.
This might be a bad idea. Is a useful trait.
Give a cast down here. D-Spark in the main deck, sure. Let the greed consume you.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Leebs, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Again, we're going to hold this Grazer because it doesn't really do a whole lot at the moment. And ideally, that's going to turn into a bow activation down the line. Sorin's Bless is currently very awkward. Is this an Othakaya that they didn't realize couldn't kill Teferi? This long pause here makes me think this is an Othakaya they didn't realize can't kill Teferi. Shalai is so good. Shalai is so good. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, even 50 hours a week sometimes. If you're someone who enjoys constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here, and if you look at that big, long stream title up there right now, those are most of the decks that we plan to play today, and more importantly, that's the order that we plan to play them in. As always, I'd love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day to day without their wonderful support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. I'm actually going to be playing in their modern tournament this weekend in Iowa, so be sure to tune in there to see me play a little bit of paper Magic. BCW Supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there. PlayDKP.com makes a very unique product in the Dragon Claw that would like to help you hold onto your cards while you're on the go. They make a magnetic game board that makes it easy to play Magic the Gathering, whether you're in a car, on a plane, or outside where there might be a little bit of wind. If you head over to playdkp.com, you can use code Jeff5 to save 5% there. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you dropping in to spend part of your day here with us. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday and a great middle of your week. Head on into our next match here with the Bant Bow. Sand's not amazing, but I'm going to keep it. I am no longer down with the sickness. Just some kind of 24-hour flu bug. So I'm actually going to play Arkbow on 2 against turn 1 Watery Grave rather than the Paradise Druid. Because if they're an Esper deck, they likely can't take this card off the table, and I don't want to get it thought seized. Are there any good decks so far with Partheon 2? No, that's not really a constructed playable card. It just costs too much mana and doesn't have a big enough impact for how much mana that it costs. Well, here goes my bow. So pretty supremely punished for my sequencing here. Hey, tutors. Thank you very much for the sub gifties. Hope you're having a fantastic middle of your week there. Thanks for the support. I think I'm going to go ahead and pass here. There might be merit to digging aggressively for Tolsimir or Deputy, but I kind of want to wait to activate the Arkbow until they cast a spell, because I would like to be able to hit Frilled Mystic and do something meaningful with that too. So now I have a bunch of great hits, right? Discard this because it's our greatest shame. Will do, tutors. Thanks for the support. You should wait till the thief enters. So saying I should wait till the thief enters is what I would refer to as being results-based. So if I hit Frilled Mystic there, you wouldn't be saying I should wait till Thief enters. And in fact, I think it's correct to not wait till the Thief enters because I'm looking for Frilled Mystic, but I'm also happy if I hit something like this because there's already a Deputy in play for me to take away, right? So I'm pretty confident I made the correct decision there. I'm not going to play anything here. I think I'd prefer to do this inside of combat. Yeah, we also have 4 more Frilled Mystic, or 2 more Frilled Mystics than we do Tolsimirs.
Trust me, I have a plan.
This probably isn't very good against a bunch of random 1/1s. No, Party Bus Driver. That would be what we refer to as busted, if it worked that way. Wow, we had 5 lands, and then they just milled 2 lands with this. That's pretty impressive. Papa Tef.
I can no longer stand by and watch. We need to move quickly.
Alright, well, if they don't have a removal spell here, I get to kill Papa Tef, right? And if they do have a removal spell, I get to play my other Tolsimir out and eat this Thief of Sanity.
Want me to phase you out of time?
So we're not in a good spot at the moment, but with Bow in play, I definitely don't feel like we're in an unwinnable position.
Let's skip to the good part.
That's pretty good.
I got this.
Yeah, Tolsimir's a card I've been very impressed with. I think I'm just passing. There's 4 Frilled Mystics in my deck I haven't seen yet. It's like we're pretty likely to hit one of those if they cast a spell this turn. Well, that at least exiles that. Okay, consolation prize.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. Hold that thought.
No, it explicitly says opponent discard. Believe me when I say if this came into play from discarding to Bow, we would not be the first person to be playing this deck. This would be a thing lots of other people would be doing.
That was uncalled for.
That was uncalled for. I'm Teferi, I'm angry. Blarg, blarg, blarg. Yes, if Deputy gets killed in response to the trigger, they do keep the token.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
There's 4 Frilled Mystics in my deck, I swear. The best part about this deck is that when they have Baby Tef in play, you're not forced to play Hearthstone. Like, the fact that Baby Tef doesn't shut down activations means we still get to, like, play out at instant speed, which is enjoyable.
I'll protect you.
Wow, bounce Frilled Mystic is bold. I guess if they're taking our bow, it's less bold. I know, but like, that's like, bouncing Frilled Mystics is a bold because it says they think we're never going to be able to kill this card, which maybe we're not. Yeah, we might be too far behind at this point. Oh no, they took my baby and used it against me. Oh no. Alright, how do we want to sideboard here? I think this is a matchup where Chunky Boy is actually not that good. I think I want to trim him. I definitely want the Baffling End. Arboreal Grazer blocks Thief of Sanity, so I think that's meaningful to leave in. Lyra's lifelink isn't super relevant, but being able to fly over the top to pressure their planeswalkers is. I took your most recent Fairy Pod Mother list to second in an 82-player Modern event. Thanks, and keeping awesome. Thanks for the support, Tresland. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how good Lyra is here. I like having extra flying threats, but maybe she's like not good enough that I ever want to draw two. Maybe I trim some mana creatures here just so I want slightly higher card quality. I could see that being the case. I don't mind that. With like 8 mana creatures, like trimming some is not unreasonable. Yeah, I'm gonna cut both Lyras. Let's try this. We're playing Bant Gates, but I like have a turn 3 Teferi technically, right? It's not a turn 3 Teferi in the most elegant manner, but it'll work. It'll do pig. Huh. So I'm actually gonna Glacial Fortress here. And the reason why I'm doing this is if I draw a blue Shockland next turn, it lets me hold up Frilled Mystic. Whereas if I play this, I guaranteed can't hold up Frilled Mystic next turn. So if they thief here, I want to draw a land. All right, well, now we're just holding up Frilled Mystic, right? Just like no attacks go. Do your thing. Just any spell you cast. This one. Any spell you cast. This one. Now, the fact that we're missing land drops and they're not here is a nod in their direction for just playing Drago here. I didn't play Teferi on 3 because I wanted to leave myself the option to be able to Frilled Mystic on 4 guaranteed. Which playing this did, and playing Teferi did not. Hey, Jake Deliciousness coming in hot with the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome, welcome. Alright, we hit a couple of land drops here, which puts us right back into it. As you will. And like, if they play another threat here, I'm just like, Tolsimir, eat your threat attack you. Sure. Do I? Or do I just like... Do I just like Teferi plus Bow here? Like, I kind of just like Teferi plus Bow here.
You show remorse. I'll get straight. That's more like it.
I guess playing Tolsimir is better. I guess playing Tolsimir is better in the face of a 5-mana Tef or like a Liliana coming down. Like a big planeswalker. Correct, yeah. Yeah, the reason to wait here is the Arkbow can now hit removal and be a counter spell because Frilled Mystic is under Deputy. Sure.
Right on schedule. This might be a bad idea.
Really?
According to plan.
Okay, sure. Do I want to play this land and just have the most dig deeps? I don't think I really need Baffling End at this point, right? I think I just pass. Like 7 is like a sweet spot in my experience. Although it is worth noting, because I don't have Time Raveler in play, my opponent can kill deputies and Tolsimirs in response to them trying to exile their stuff. So, like, that could be a nod towards a reason to play this out. Alright, so I get 8 looks here. How unlucky are we? Not unlucky at all. So that one. And then I would like to counter this, please. Yes. And, like, they can bounce this and get their deputies back, but then, like, I get to run back that same line next turn if they do that. So it's like, is that really something they want to do? Yeah, they're like coming to the conclusion like, oh, he could just do that regardless. And it's just like a good scene for us. Yeah, just off it. How do we feel about Shalai versus Nullhide Ferox? I guess Shalai protects Deputy, which probably makes her better. Yeah, Shalai's right. She flies too, which is meaningful in some spots. This hand is very good. I would like to keep. Backup bow for when they thought erasure us. Sign me up. I don't know if Dovin's Veto is good enough. I feel like they have enough early creatures that I just like am not interested in that. Yep.
I did not start this fight, but I will.
So we really want to draw a land next turn. Why not Deputy the Deputy? Because their deck is full of removal spells. We actually haven't been thought erased yet in 3 games, which feels weird. Probably this stand-in. I don't know. We'll see how I'll let you know after the Mythic Championship qualifier weekend next weekend. I've decided I'm going to try and get into MPL, so I'm going to become a Hearthstone streamer. No, auto chess is where it's at, Punchworthy. Got to be a popular auto chess streamer. All right. Lucky, 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 please. Yikes.
This will not be my final party.
Yeah, you and me both, Zach. Sounds like it's gonna be a dumpster fire. That's not a shot at Savitz. Savitz is great. It's just like a fact that like they invited someone who took 4 weeks or 6 weeks off from streaming Magic and streamed a bunch of auto chess instead of like someone like Kenji or Caleb who's been streaming Magic for a long time and who are also part of big esports organizations.
I won't hide from the world.
Like it's a fact that WotC skipped over people who have been dedicated to Magic for a very long time in favor of people that chose to ignore Magic when they got bored of it. Like, Savitz makes awesome content. He's definitely one of the best streamers when he's playing Magic. I don't even know what I want to take here. I kind of feel like missing this 5th land means we're screwed.
No time for a break.
Yeah, the issue is no stated metrics. Like honestly, at the end of the day, having people like Savitz in the MPL is good for Magic the Gathering. Like, he brings a lot of people into the game. The problem that a lot of people have is it feels like they moved the goalpost like halfway through the... It feels like they moved the goalpost halfway through the season, basically. I think there are people running Elder Spell. In fact, we're going to play Elder Spell in most of the black decks we play later today. In fact, I think if they structured the MPL, like, this is off the cuff. In my opinion, the ideal way to fill 32 spots in the MPL is you should have 16 spots based purely on records, based on some kind of point system, and then you could have, let's say, 5 regional slots, and then you could give, like, the top slot to the highest point earning female player, and then you could give some number of slots to top content producers in varying ways. Like, there's a lot of ways you could split up those MPL slots if you want them to be more than just top player slots. But the problem is, they pitched the MPL as, this is a thing for top players. They didn't pitch it as, this is a variety of things that we're feeding from. And it feels like if they want to move more towards that promotional style stuff, I'm fine with that as a player. In fact, I think it's a better idea than, like, if you look at some of the MPL streamers, they don't have a lot of viewers still, even, 5 or 6 months later. But, like, having some number of top slots and then some number of invited slots that are basically publicity slots, that's just good business and makes sense. The problem is not what they did, it's the execution and how they did it. And it feels like they're pivoting and changing the loose rules that they had set up mid-season. Anywho, I think we went 3-2 in matches played there. We got pretty unfortunate in that last match there versus Esper, and I punted the one match pretty hard to the red-green deck that we played. I think I was pretty happy, all things considered, with this 75. Nullhide Ferox really felt like it came in and tied the room together for us, just like, one of the things that we've talked about Bant having an issue with in general is the removal spells in these colors kind of suck, right? So just having this giant beefcake that just like comes down is like, hey, I'm the biggest dude on the board, like kind of makes up for the fact that we don't really have good removal spells. So like this card in conjunction with these pseudo removal spells really feels like it allows us to punch through those matches that felt like they were lacking because we didn't have removal. Yeah, I could. And at some point, maybe I'll write a giant blog post about things I feel like they did wrong with the MPL. Because like there's so many little things they could do right. Part of me hasn't written it because I didn't want to get written off even further. But another part of me is like, I'm probably written off enough that like I could probably just say all the things. Like they could do really simple things like have the MPL streamers get hosted after big events happen, or like when you're gonna pay to get people promoted on the front page or get embedded in streams, embed your MPL streamers instead of random other Magic streamers. Like why spend, $4 million on the MPL if you're not gonna leverage them to the max in every possible way?